Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, on behalf of IIT Kanpur and on my own personal behalf, I would like to congratulate all of you. Your your children have achieved this success for making it to this great institute. And on behalf of the institute and on my own personal behalf, I would like to welcome you all to this campus. Professor Shalab, Dean of Academic Affairs, has given a brief overview of the academics. But I would just take you through some of the slides which will give you some information about the institute. As you can see here, the first slide itself shows the iconic P.K. Kelkar library and the fountain in front of the institute, in front of the library, was also an iconic fountain which was recently renovated. And if you had an opportunity to roam around the campus, please do visit the library campus, as well. Just to give you a brief history of the institute, IIT Kanpur was established in 1959, to be more precise, on 2nd November 1959. So in next 4 days, we will be celebrating the 63rd Foundation Day. In fact, we are having a big ceremony on the 2nd of November, where we will be honoring many of our distinguished alumni. IIT Kanpur was established as a part of what used to be called as a Kanpur Indo-American Program, KAYAP, where several US universities, namely Princeton, Purdue, Berkeley, Michigan, Ohio State, MIT, Case Institute, Carnegie Mellon, and California Institute of Technology really worked with the institute for designing the academic curriculum, for designing the research programs, and here we are, in about 63 years of our existence. IIT Kanpur, let me just tell you, was the first to introduce the semester system and relative grading in the country. And as you know, that semester system is now followed all over the country, not only in all engineering institutions, but in other institutions as well. But we were the first to introduce semester system. We were the first to introduce relative grading also. So in the terms of A, B, C, D, E, this was earlier, as you know, that India used to follow the British systems where absolute marks or percentages were given. And now, of course, the relative grading is followed in many institutions, not just the IITs, but in other universities as well. IIT Kanpur had a very strong academic ethos of science-based engineering education and innovation and research-led aspirations. And this even continues even today, and I'm sure your children will have an opportunity to get an exposure to some of the highest standards of academic scholarships that exist in the institute. IIT Kanpur was also the first to introduce the computer science program in the country, and we have come a long way. The left side picture shows the picture of 1963 when the IBM 1620 machine, the mainframe computer, was first brought in the country, and that was installed in the computer center of IIT Kanpur. From there, today we have a very state-of-the-art computer center where we have a 1.3 petaflop supercomputing machine. Apart from that, several high-performance computing clusters which are there in the computer center. Again, this is something, if you have an opportunity to visit, do visit the computer center of IIT Kanpur. You will be delighted to know that we have a very strong faculty profile, and your children will be taught by some of the brightest minds of the country and having an international recognition. We have on our faculty profile several Padma Shri awardees. Currently, Professor Vinod Singh and Professor Manindra Agrawal are faculty members in the institute. Professor Vinod Singh in chemistry department, and perhaps, he will teach many of your children. Professor Manindra Agrawal in the computer science department. Professor Harish Verma, H.C. Verma, the author of the famous concept of physics. Perhaps your children may have studied that in the 12th class. Also happens to be a former faculty member of IIT Kanpur. He lives very close by the institute and regularly interacts with the institute with several of his initiatives which are running on the campus. Professor Sudhir Jain is currently the BHU Vice Chancellor, and Professor Sanjay Dhande is a retired director of the institute. We have faculty members who have won Infosys Prize, TWAS Fellowship, and more importantly, we have the distinction of one of our faculty member, Professor Manindra Agrawal, be a member of the US National Academy of Sciences, which is quite a distinguished honor, I would say. We also have Professor Manindra Agrawal and Professor Nitin Saxena, who are both professors in computer science. They are the winner of the Gödel Prize, which was awarded to them in 2002 for their discovery in the prime number algorithms. Then, of course, we have faculty members who have won TWAS Prize, Scopus Young Scientist. A large number of our faculty members on roll are recipients of Shanti Sarup Bhatnagar Prize. Most recent, that is last year, has been Professor Arun Shukla of the Department of Biological Sciences and Bioengineering. Some of you who have taken admission in our Department of Biological Sciences and Bioengineering, let me tell you that this is one of the best departments of the country. As you have seen, two of the faculty members, Professor Arun Shukla and Professor Bushra Atiq, have won the Shanti Sarup Bhatnagar Prize in 2 consecutive years, in 2021 and 2020. This is the list of the faculty members who are recipients of Bhatnagar Prize. Just to give you statistics of the campus, we have a very big campus, almost 1100 acres. Our campus is a little smaller than IIT Madras and IIT Kharagpur, but larger than all other IIT campus. But in terms of usable area, IIT Kanpur has one of the largest usable area. Currently, we have 540 faculty members and about 9,000 students. And 50% of them are undergraduate students. A large number of students have graduated. We have currently an alumni base of 40,000 alumni. And I'm sure in 4 or 5 years, when your child graduates from the institute, it will join a very celebrated club of the institute's alumni, which ranges from Narayan Murthy of Infosys founder, to Sanjeev Puri of ITC. A large number of our alumni are currently working in the government also. For example, former Chief Economic Advisor Krishnamurthy Subramaniam, who has now been appointed as Executive Director in IMF. He is also a BTech of Electrical Engineering. We have the current Minister for Railways, Electronics and Information Technology and Communications, Ashwini Vaishnaw, who also is an IIT Kanpur alumnus, and a large number of our IIT Kanpur alumni. In fact, I can proudly say that our institute has the distinction of having the highest number of alumni who are members of US national academies. Both, National Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Engineering, and National Academy of Medicine. So we have, distinguished academics like Mrigank Sur, Rakesh Jain, Rakesh Agrawal, who are like professors in the US universities, being members of US national academies, and are also, IIT Kanpur alumni. So I think all of us should be very proud that, your child will join this distinguished set of the alumni of the institute. We have some of the excellent infrastructure facilities in the institute in terms of the library, the student activity center, the swimming pool, the lecture halls, and I'm sure the Dean of Student Affairs will give more information on this. So I don't want to spend time on this. We have 19 academic departments and a few interdisciplinary programs. Some of the academic departments were established more recently, like sustainable energy engineering, design, cognitive science, space science and astronomy. All these departments currently do not offer the undergraduate program, but they offer only the postgraduate programs. But perhaps, we may start the undergraduate program in the next few years or so. Recently, and that is maybe relevant, some of the first year students, that with the support from one of our distinguished alumnus, Muktesh Pant, who incidentally happens to be the son of the famous Hindi author Shivani, we have set up a Shivani Center for Nurture and Reintegration of Hindi and other Indian languages. I understand that many of the children may have studied in Hindi medium or in other regional languages and may face difficulty in the instructions program of the institute. And we believe that this center will provide a platform for soft landing of your children if they are not comfortable with the English language. In fact, we would like to make sure, and that is why the center is also named, that we would not only like to nurture the Hindi and other Indian languages, but would like to integrate these students with the socio-academic milieu of the institute. So I'm sure, I think you will get an opportunity to get an exposure to this program. I don't want to get into the highlights of the academic programs. I think Professor Shalab has already dwelt upon it. But I just only want to make one statement that this is the most flexible academic program that exists among all IITs, in the sense that IIT Kanpur provides an opportunity for you to do undergraduate BTech degree in one discipline and masters in other disciplines. So in fact, all these combinations are possible. Like, BTech, MTech, So BTech in electrical engineering, MTech in computer science, BSMS, BTech MS. So for example, BTech in electrical engineering, MS in economic sciences, BS MTech. So for example, BS in economic sciences, but MTech in some other discipline. BTech in mechanical engineering and Master of Design, MDes, or BTech in aerospace engineering and an MBA from IME. So all these combinations, permutations and combinations are possible, which I believe are not available in many other academic institutions. We have recently undertaken a major reforms in the undergraduate program, and our Dean of Academic Affairs before I came has given a highlight of these, but I will just want to highlight two important aspects. One, we are introducing a very unique program of a Bachelor of Technology along with the management. So Bachelor of Technology and Management, BTM, and the Bachelor of Technology or Bachelor of Science Honors program. And by the way, all our students take admission into the BTech or BS program only. All these options will be available, after, the 4th or 5th semester of the students program. We have a very strong research and innovation ecosystem. Apart from the departments, we have several research centers on thematic areas, and we have several central research facilities. For example, we have a national wind tunnel facility. We have an advanced imaging center, and so on. Just to give you some of the glimpse of our ongoing R&D activity, IIT Kanpur has a strong expertise in cyber security and cyber security of very critical infrastructure. We have a major national center for cyber security, and we are very working closely with the National Security Council Secretariat on ensuring the cyber security of the critical infrastructure. And some of the projects, large projects that we have taken are, for example, securing major ports, securing the national highway, and many other such installations. We have a National Center for Flexible Electronics, which is working on, for example, flexible displays, which is working on electronics which can be printed on any substrate, like, a paper or a cloth or something like that. We have set up a Mehta Family Center for Engineering in Medicine. We were the part of the 5G testbed, which was developed in collaborations with IIT Madras and IIT Bombay. And you may have heard in the newspaper that this testbed was inaugurated, in the Indian Mobile Congress, in the beginning of this month. We have really a working prototype of 5G base station, which is there in our electrical engineering department lab. Some of you, if you are interested, we will be. In fact, we are now likely to set up a test bed in the campus as well. We are working with our setting up of the new Department of Sustainable Energy Engineering. We have set up a Chandrakanta Keshavan Center for Energy Policy and Climate Solutions, again with the donation from one of our distinguished alumnus, Sudhakar Keshavan. Some of these research facilities are I already spoke about. We also have a flight lab. We are in the process of setting up a center of excellence for drones. And some of you who have taken admissions in the aerospace engineering department, I can also tell you that this is also one of the best aerospace engineering department we have, with a lot of facilities, including the airstrip that is there. IIT Kanpur, I think, is has a very working airstrip where we are conducting these experiments. We have our own aircraft as well. So I think your children will get an opportunity to have exposure to some of these facilities. We have a very strong incubation program, and through our student entrepreneurship policy, the students can also have their own startups. We have currently 100 plus startups incubated on the campus, and all of them are doing extremely well. 25 to 30 startups are being incubated by our own faculty members out of their research which they have done through the students. Some of the startups which I have just shown it on the slides, Endure Air, for example, is a drone startups which exhibited in the recent Defense Expo, which was held in Ahmedabad. And there was a sufficient media coverage. If you had an opportunity to listen to look into those media reports. We have a very innovative startup. Again, by the way, both Endure Air and the off-grid startup has come out of the students. In fact, on the off-grid startup, some of the final year undergraduate students from biosciences and bioengineering department are the founders, and they have been working on a very efficient battery technology. And then finally, we have a startup Fool, which actually collects the temple flowers and convert them into a biodegradable product. And in fact, this startup is working on a very innovative product of bio leather. We have a very strong international collaborations. Undergraduate students have an opportunity to participate in students exchange programs and students internship programs. We also, of course, have a joint degree program. We have a very successful joint PhD degree program with Taiwan and New York University. We have also set up a La Trobe IIT Kanpur Academy. Finally, IIT Kanpur is expanding in different areas. We are now establishing a School of Medical Sciences and Technology. We got a substantial donation from one of our alumnus, Rakesh Gangwal. Rakesh Gangwal is the founder of Indigo Airlines. All of you know, of course, the Indigo Airlines. Its founder, Rakesh, happens to be our alumnus, 1975 batch. And he has donated for setting up the School of Medical Sciences and Technology, along with several other donors. We had a foundation stone laying ceremony very recently, where all our donors, including Rakesh Gangwal, was present. In fact, in this picture, I can tell you that some of the very distinguished people are there. You can also see in the picture another of our alumnus, Hemant Jalan, who happens to be the founder of Indigo Paints, not the Indigo Airlines, but Indigo Paints. And we also, of course, have Rakesh Gangwal. We have Muktesh Pant, Mickey Pant, who was the founding CEO of global CEO of Yum China, which owns, the Pizza Hut brands. So he also happens to be our alumnus as a BTech in chemical engineering. So we had a recent foundation stone laying ceremony, and we believe that we will be able to set up the school in the next 2 to 3 years time frame. And the school is going to work at the intersection of engineering and medicine, doing cutting edge research in the healthcare. So this is all a brief overview of the institute. All I wanted to say that we have a very long and enriching tradition of the last 63 years of a very high quality research, academic scholarships, and a very informal atmosphere between students and faculty members, where students will have an opportunity to grow in all dimensions, not just in the academics, but also in the technology development, research, entrepreneurship. And we have very state-of-the-art infrastructure facility, both in terms of sports as well as other students' activities. And I'm sure that your child will have a very enjoyable and a satisfying experience. And after 4 or 5 years, it will join the very celebrated group of the IIT Kanpur alumni. So thank you very much, and thank you for this. We have a very dedicated team in the form of our deans. I think you heard our Dean of Academic Affairs. We also have the Office of the Dean of Student Affairs. I am quite confident that your children will not have any opportunity to complain, and will be able to spend and cherish these 4 or 5 years. And I'm sure, I mean, all of the children have taken admission in the 4-year programs, but I can tell you that down the lines, a large number of students want to spend more time on the campus, so convert to 5-year dual degree program or double majors and so on. I think this is all I would like to say. Although, you know, I have not put this on the slides, and I don't want to sort of make a comment on that, but since these questions are often asked, I can also tell you that we have a very strong students placement office, which will make sure that your student, when it graduates from the institute, will have a very bright future. And that's all I want to say. Finally, just the last comment that I have to make is that I am also a proud alumnus of IIT Kanpur. And after having been a faculty in IIT Bombay for 24 years, I returned to this institute as the director in April 2018. So, I'm sure and confident, and I can say this with all pride, that you have landed it in one of the best institutes of the country and comparable to the best in the world. I know IIT Bombay also very well. As I said, I have been there for 25 years. And therefore I can say that we continue to have a full pride in these great institutions, and you are all welcome to our campus. Thank you very much.